Smoke talk football. Let's get to it, buddy. Let's get to it. Um, we're going to say the 49er talk to later, to almost the last. But let's get to it real quick. Let's talk about the Bills versus Steelers. And let's talk about if it's time for Mike Tomlin to say goodbye. Now, check this out. Well, watching that game, right? Watching that game, Bills versus Steelers. One thing I don't know what's going on with the Steelers defense, right? For years, the Steelers defense has been great, right? They've been great. We see Watt, right? But just overall, from them having Troy Polamalu, from even back into the 70s and the 80s, their defense have always been a stout ass defense. Okay. Right now, I don't know what the hell is going on with their defense. Right. Last week they lost to the Bears. This week they lose to the Bills. After even both weeks, their defense was playing good. Right now, let's get to Aaron Rodgers for a second. Right. Check this out. Check this out for a second. Do you know what the difference is between Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady as far as the teams, right? I'm not talking about the Super Bowls, just the teams. One thing about a Tom Brady's team, he's going to have a great offensive line. That offensive line is going to be great. Okay, it was great with New England, and it was great with Tampa Bay. Okay, Aaron Rodgers does not have that. The Pittsburgh Steelers offensive line is horrible. Okay, they're horrible. Okay, they cannot stop. You seen? Check this out. Check this out. Right. Check this out. My lips was a little white there. Check this out real quick. Y'all seen that man had to get taken out of the game because his nose hit the turf because he got hit so hard. His whole face went straight to the goddamn turf. Okay. He has no offensive line. If Aaron Rodgers had an offensive line, we would see how dope Aaron Rodgers is, even at his age. Okay, even at his age. Let's keep it 100 with you. They don't have a top 10 running back, the Steelers. So DK, right, is a great, great, great wide receiver, right? Great wide receiver. Hey, they tied in. They got a nice, you know what I'm saying? But what? And my personal opinion is this: we were looking at about 10 years ago. They had Antonio Brown, the running back. You know what I'm saying? Of course, Big Ben. 10 years later, I don't know. Me personally, I would never even gave. I would not even traded George Pickens. Can you imagine Aaron Rodgers having George Pickens and DK to throw to? So I wouldn't have gave George Pickens up. I don't think it's necessarily time for Mike Tomlin to go. But what I will say is it's time for him to stop running that old ass defense, though. I will say that old ass defense is not hitting. If you watch the game, you can see that some of the Pittsburgh Steelers players looked out of place. They just looked out of place. Okay, when you have four linebackers out there, yeah, I don't like Pittsburgh's scheme, right? Let's get to the next game. Rams and the Panthers. Shocker, right? That was a shocker. Based on how the 49ers played the Panthers, I thought that was going to be a cakewalk for the Rams. But you know, one thing I noticed with the Rams, right? And I think this is with any type of when you have a good defense, right? When you have a good defense, and I'm just talking about the defense part of the Rams right now. When you have a good defense, you can play one-on-one coverages, right? You don't have to sit back. You can play man. You don't have to sit back in the zone all the time. You can switch it up, right? One thing about watching them play the Panthers, and the one thing that Bryce couldn't do against us, the 49ers, last week was he was running all around that pocket. When you thought you had him, you didn't have him. And I seen a couple of plays where the Rams had him. He gets out, he makes a hell of a play. Okay, find an open receiver, or even get nothing but a first down. Bryce was making plays happen. I see why they drafted Bryce. They keep him. He's good. Even last year, I was thinking, hey, why did they pick him? But he's great. Okay, um, he, him in that wide receiver court, give him another year. I think they gonna find their chemistry, I should say, and I think everything is gonna be cool with the Panthers. I think they're looking like, you know what I'm saying. I think they're looking way better than Tennessee. You know what I'm saying? They're looking way better than Tennessee right now. So Bryce just had to get his feet wet, and you know what I'm saying. He's looking like a quarterback, an NFL quarterback at that. You know what I'm saying? The Panthers defense was good. The Panthers defense, even though they was letting Devontae Adams score, a couple of touchdowns, they played right. And it was crazy to watch the Rams offense struggle. They were struggling. They were struggling to run the ball. Even which I felt at times they should have kept running the ball instead of stopping and trying to get a ball to Devontae Adams or to their other wide receiver. Keep running. They was running it. It was a lightweight working for him, and then they started throwing the ball. Okay, they started throwing the ball. Um, Going to be very, it's going to be very interesting coming down the next end of the season when it comes to the Rams, because the Rams want to keep that top spot. Okay, they want to keep that top spot. Now they played if I'm not mistaken, I think the Rams play the Cardinals, right? That's who they play. I think they play the Cardinals. So, yep, the Rams play the Cardinals. So, you know what I'm saying? Brissett has been, on one. They ain't really got the victories to, to prove it, but I got the Rams winning that game. I don't think the Cardinals would, hey, look, that'd be nice if the Cardinals beat them. That'd be great, but I don't think that's gonna happen. I think the Rams is gonna be mad from what happened last week, and they gonna take it out on the Cardinals, right? Colts and Texans. Let's talk about this real quick. Look, I'm gonna keep it 100 with you, and I said this a couple weeks ago, right? I said this a couple weeks ago. Look, watch out for Daniel Jones, right? Watch out for Daniel Jones. Now they lost last week against KC, right? And then lose to the Texans. Look, and then Sauce went out, right? Sauce went out. But look, check this out. The Colts is a complete ass team, all right? Now they did play the number one defense in the league, the Texans. And the Texans playing the Chiefs this week. Great matchup. Great matchup. Great matchup. Mahomes need this. Mahomes need this. Mahomes lose this is over with. Can their can the defense can the Texas defensive front, right? Can their defensive front sit up there and hold off? Can they defensive front hold off Pat Mahomes? And I think they can. I think they can. I, I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. I got Texas winning this by 3. Texas winning by 3. I think it's over for them. I think it's over for Kansas City. Okay, I think it's over. Lost to the Cowboys. You know, beat the Colts and then lose to the Cowboys. It's just crazy. You know, hey, anything, any given Sunday, right? Any given Sunday, right? Any given Sunday. That's why I was so. You see what happened to the 49ers when we went into the Browns a couple of years ago. Moody, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, any given Sunday. But I just think the Texans defensive front and even their secondary can stay with the wide receivers of Kansas City. Now, Worthy might be a little bit of problem because you know he got the extra speed, but I do think that the Texans have a all and the fact that their quarterback came back, right? And the fact that their quarterback came back, like had their quarterback not came back, then I would not have picked the Texans, but because I picked the Texans and they rookie running back, he nice, you know what I'm saying? Mark's nice, Mark's nice. Um, and then you know you got Nick Chubb over there, their main running back out for the season. So they got a nice if they can focus on, you know, sharing the rock between them two, they quarterback not making any silly mistakes, Tex with the number one defense. Hey man, the Texans can be a scary. That's scary. And then let's keep it 100 with you. Kelsey not the same. Kelsey not the same. Kelsey look old out there. Kelsey looks like a 20-year vet. Okay, he just looks old out there. He doesn't look like he playing with that swag no more. You know what I'm saying? Remember like a couple years ago, man, he had that swag. He just looked dull. You know what I'm saying? Kelsey looked dull. And then the fact that let's keep it 100 with you. Kansas City really doesn't have no running game. They have a running their running game is more by committee. And so they don't really have a number one that you will really be like, well, this is the person. Both of them can bust, but I don't put my not. But hey, look, this is Pat, and you know Pat don't be playing. You know what I'm saying? Especially this is, but I pick. I think DeMarco Ryans is gonna have DeMarco want this. I think DeMarco want this, so he gonna call a good ass defense. The defense gonna be ready. Got them winning by 3. Um, don't know what happened to the Colts other than, like I said, to keep it 100 with you, Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones made a couple of bad decisions. I'm not ready to sit up here and say, guess what? The Colts is a number one definite or number 2 definite just based off of their quarterback. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to say that. But let's get to this 49er shit real quick. Man, let's talk about it. Last 2 weeks, right? Last 2 weeks has been easy. And I'm not going to say easy, but, you know, considering, right? Just considering. we have a bye, right? We have a bye. And coming off of that bye, we play Tennessee, right? Tennessee with 3 more weeks to go, right? And let's get to it. Let's break it down. If we're gonna do it, we're gonna do it right. We play the Colts on the 22nd, right? So after we play the Titans, we play the Colts. So we have to, right? The games that the last 2 games, trap games, right? And this game, a trap game, we have to beat Tennessee. We have to beat Tennessee and no injuries. But let's talk about the Browns real quick. First off, coming off of that horrendous game that Brock Purdy had against the Carolina Panthers, can't throw 3 interceptions in the first half. Let's keep it 100 with you. He didn't throw any interceptions, which was great, right? Um, as we start moving forward, right, the games that he's played against, you know, Carolina and the Browns, but the Browns had a good defense, right? Browns had a great defense. Their offensive might not have been the best, but they got a good ass defense. What our offense showed, right, is that we can, even without a real number one, with our number one not being there, such as Brandon Ayuk, that Brock Purdy can actually maintain his poise in the pocket, right? He can get the ball out when he needs to. He's good. Like just this past week against the Browns, he was good at even hitting his checkdowns, right? And being the elusive quarterback that we know he can be, right? This is what I would like to change. I would like for the play calling to be a little bit more wide open than what it is right now. Because the 49ers is predictable. Okay? Let's keep it 100 with you. First down, what we gonna do? We gonna get a ball to Christian McCaffrey. Second down, we gonna throw it to Christian McCaffrey. Third down, we might throw it to him again. Okay? Let's let's be able to find everybody and not just make it a McCaffrey game. Because every time the 49ers play, it's a McCaffrey game. Okay? It's a McCaffrey game. And I'm kind of tired of seeing him. I don't know if Kyle is padding his stats. I'm not too sure, but it doesn't look good. Okay? Even as a fan, it doesn't look good. Okay? Give other players opportunities. Okay? Just yeah, you got to give other players opportunities. You know what I'm saying? You got to give other players, especially gosh, give Cal the ball, man. Give B Rob the ball. Like we have enough weapons not to just zero in on one person. Now it might not be weapons that you're gonna sit up here and but everybody should be able to have at least 2 to 3 plays. Okay, from our wide receivers to our tight end. Okay, like let's keep it 100 with you. We're yeah. I don't want to see us run McCaffrey into the ground because that's all we know. That's all we, you know what I'm saying? No, bro. We have to get better within it. Okay, I would like to see the offense sit up here and give other opportunities to other players. Okay, that's my only thing with the offense. Give other opportunities to other players. Defense. Okay, check this out. even with Carolina, I was surprised to see that Bryce wasn't running on us. You know what I'm saying? As much, because I felt like if he was to run on us, he wins, and he was kind of being the quarterback that's going to stay in the pocket and make the throws. That's how he played against us. Against the Rams, he was a little bit different, right? We played Shador. So, of course, the defense has the edge. You have a rookie. And so we were able, even though Shador made a couple of hell of a throws, okay? Made a hell of, hey, it looked like, okay. But the 49ers was able to get it together. Their defense was able to, man up, stop the Browns on a couple of third downs, give us the ball, and you know what I'm saying? There you have it. We don't have to, next week we have a bye. I'm still coming with the small talk football next week, though. Couple of games, like I said, that's just good that we got to talk about. We got to talk about that KC and game, KC Texas game. We got to talk about that, right? The special teams. We see Sky Moore had an exceptional punt return, right? That right there set us up. And because of that, I think it made the play calling a little bit easier for us, right? Real quick, let Juan Jennings, bro. Come on, bro. Relax, bro. You gotta relax, bro. You already putting a target out on your back. We already red as it is anyway. So you putting a target out on your back, bro. You know what I'm saying? I understand, hey, look, I've never played professional football, but I can understand the emotions is going crazy out there. But come on, man, look, even we seen you wilding out last year at the last game of the season. You could have had 1,000 yards. Relax, homie, relax. You know what I'm saying? Because it's heading into the playoffs. We don't need another. We got a Draymond Green. We don't need a Draymond Green right now on the 49ers. Okay? So relax, man. Don't put no target on your back. Do not put no target on your back. Just don't put no target on your back. Um, you know, Good thing that this year we got a bye in the later weeks of the season instead of having a bye in week 6 or week 7 and then got to go play 10 games in a row. Perfect, perfect, perfect. You know what I'm saying? Perfect. This is perfect timing. Let us get a break